another weekend live stream. Welcome. So today was planned on being a bit of a chill out day. To be honest with you, I had a bit of a family day today, and I was planning on just doing a bit of leveling, showing you guys how I level my lower down 3-star bots, answering some questions. But then today I've had loads of questions just randomly about combat bots and who to put them best on. I think that 90% of the time people know what combats go best on which bot. But I think that sometimes people don't realize some of the pitfalls in adding certain things to certain bots as well. And sometimes you can, make a few exceptions to things. So I thought I'd go through that, go a bit more in depth into combats. We all know who are the best combats, we all know who are the worst, but we can look at, conversations we've had today in a few different chats and go from there. We're also going to be discussing a competition kind of that I've got on Discord at the minute, where I've been asking everyone to name your 3 favorite bots. Now, I've got a little secret here. There is a bit of an alternative motive to that. But again, we'll go through that later as well. And yeah, we are still going to go through how I level my lower 3-star bots. We'll put a few points up in the event by doing so. And any question you guys have got, hopefully like combat related. But you know what? If it's not, it doesn't matter. Put it in the chat and I'll do my best. With these, these really big exclusives, things like that, lots to show. And sometimes you can't really answer many questions. But tonight is pretty much a FAQ night where any questions you've got, pop them in the chat. I'll try and pick them up and we'll do our best to answer them. Cool. So let's see who we've got. So we've got the Crusher 11. Welcome. Yes, you was first. Grind time. Nope. You were second. You might have been first, but you're too slow to type, so you were second. We've got Barry Cost in third. We've got Barry Allen. Hey, Barry. Yeah, I did want to give a shout out to Barry, actually. Barry's come over from China server to help us with our China section of the Discord. And if you're in Discord already, you'll probably see that it's extended quite a bit. And I've asked Barry to come and look after that because he's been playing China for a long time. He knows what he's doing a lot more than I do. We'll be talking a bit about China as well. Nothing in depth. I may do a bit of an update eventually another day, but not tonight. But yeah, I am playing China again. And yeah, if you've got any questions about China, then Barry is your guy. We've got a huge China section that Barry's going to be updating over the next few weeks. Give him a bit of time. He's a bit new to Discord, so do give him a bit of time, guys. Get scripts with it. But yeah, the China server section is going to be looking really good by the time he's finished with it. So big shout out to Barry and a big thank you for doing that. We've also got Elf. How's it going? We've got Bert Sherbert. We've got Jason Rowley. We've got William Wilkinson. We've got Sharks here, our moderator. Thanks. Here we posted a few links to the Discord server. Over 600 members. I think we're close to 650 now. We're getting there. So, yeah, I think it's one of the biggest Discord servers for Transformers Earth Wars. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. Who else have we got? We've got Firestorm97. We've got Windblade. How's it going? We've got... Is that everyone? Six Action. How's it going? He's a regular in our server. We've got Bruticus. We've got Garrett again. How's it going, long-time friend? And I think that's pretty much everyone. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So first, we'll do a bit of an update, what I've been doing today. So I'll be honest with you, I'm not even going to show my points in the event. It's embarrassing. We've literally had a couple of days off, but we are going to put some points up over the next day. That was always the plan. Have a quiet Friday and Saturday and then put some points up on Sunday. A lot of family stuff this weekend. And yeah, so I'm getting pretty hefty on Spark. I was almost maxing out. If I didn't use it, I would have maxed out this event. So I've had to put 500k. Was it 500k? Yeah, 500k Spark, and I put it into Smokescreen to give him ability 9 now. And there he is in all his glory. So yeah, even though it's a bench warmer, super cool bot, super fun to use. Probably the most fun 5-star I've got. But yeah, when you've got a war team that works, then why change it? We might as well keep it as it is. But yeah, I put some spark into him. I'm also not opening my total spark crystals. I'm going to save them. And these are always, guys, that if you're getting close to maxing out on Energon, save your total spark crystals, save your achievements, don't cash them in, and it acts as another storage for your spark. Yeah, I am losing out on combat and combiner spark, but I've got a combiner in the lab. I've used on my combat spark pretty much, so yeah, I don't really need to use it right now. So I've kept it in storage, so I'm not using it unnecessarily. I don't think giving Smokey ability 9 is unnecessarily is unnecessary, but it's a good bot. But I want to try and save it for ability 11. That's always the plan. In the lab is Volcanicus. I've been trying a different technique that I'm not going to disclose right now. I need to practice a bit more, but it's looking pretty good. I was against some bases, pretty effective, and could really shake things up. It really could if it works out. And I think some people will be pleasantly surprised by the attack. I think so. Yeah. What else were we gonna? Oh yeah, and we've also took Rung up to 8 as well. So yeah, we got Top Shot at level 9 now, and Rung level 8. Debate for a while, but it's always worth putting your 5 stars up as high as possible. They're always going to be relevant. So yeah, why not? So we've got a few questions in the chat. I can see already. Barry Allen's asked a question back there somewhere. He was asking about he was talking about Shroot or Trenchfoot, I think, was it? I think. Got it back. Yeah, Trenchfoot. Yeah, it's we'll talk about that as well. Who else? Any more questions? So yeah, Volcanicus in the combiner lab. I don't want to put Defensor in because I need him for my attacks the way it is. I don't want to put Omega Supreme because I need him on defense. So Volcanicus is the next option for this new thing. Sharks is asking who's in the cooker as well. Might as well carry on with the account update. So I think we've got 2 bots in the cooker. We've got some low level bots. You'll see I'm leveling quite a few freestyles, which all my freestyles were at level 1 pretty much within reason. So we've got Silbot in the cooker, and we've got Chromia in the cooker as well. So I sort of tried to concentrate on bots that I use for Zen farming as 4 stars, and I've got to level them first, get them up to above 50, and then start using for Zen farming, I think, in teams. And yeah, go from there. In terms of crystals, dead quick. I don't want to waffle on too much. But yeah, we are going to get a 5-star by the next event, pretty much. But we want to save it for the next batch. And anyone, before you invest in Ability 11, wait for the new batch. Last thing you want is, you know what? I've got a 5-star pull. I'm going to say, but I'm going to give Swoop Ability 11 because I love Swoop. And then the next batch comes out, Swoop's in it, you pull, and you get 5-star Swoop, and you think, why didn't I save that spark for this Swoop, for this bot? So everyone knows that watch my channel that when I start hoarding stuff, then it means it's a good reason for it. I'm hoarding spark, waiting for ability 11. There's no real bots apart from Ratchet that's worthy right now in my team. But we don't know who's going to ability 11. We don't know who's coming in the next 5 batch. I'm holding off, waiting to see what happens, and then I can make a good, more educated decision on that. Well, definitely. So we're talking combats. So combats. So I think the easiest way is probably actually to go in the crystal section, go in the 5-star section. Then we can look at a couple of the new ones the other way, rather than just looking what we've got. Okay, cool. So I think it's a given that everyone knows that, pretty much, the likes of Top Shot, the likes of Flak are 2 of the best combats you can get. They're incredible. Obviously, Rung is up there well. I've had a few questions about Glitch, Smashdown, even Trenchfoot and Sound Barrier as well. So I thought we'd talk about everything sort of combat, really, and sort of from the pitfalls. So a lot of questions evolve around Skyburst as well. I don't know what ability 11 Skyburst will get eventually, but obviously all bots are going to get it. But personally, I'd like to see gunners made a bit more viable. So that could make gunners back into the meta again. And it's interesting how Top Shot would maybe work with those gunners in tandem. I can't see the likes of Top Shot and Flak, Taraxodon, Night Stalker, Smashdown, Glitch. I can't see any of them getting any kind of improvement. But we had a conversation today in the Discord VIP server and talking about Trenchfoot and Fire Drive, and it hit home that when I was pulling my 5-star rung, I really didn't want Fire Drive and I really didn't want Trenchfoot. I think that if I would have pulled one of those two, it would have stayed at level 1. And I think there's two big problems with those two. And I think looking at Fire Drive first, the problem he's got is let's look at his stats and we'll see. Here's the problem. So Fire Drive. So Fire Drive, I think, was the first one that I got. So he shoots plasma, dealing 3 times more damage to walls. So the problem there is that it does 3 times more damage to walls. So if your bot's got 300 DPS, or say it's 500, let's round it round, 500 DPS, then it does 1500 damage to walls per second. But if you've got Top Shot, well, Top Shot does damage to walls. Top Shot does about 2.5 times because it increases your damage. So look at Top Shot. So Top Shot, so you do the same DPS but 76 PA DPS to walls either side as well. So you're looking at 176%. So yeah, 176%. Yes, you can say Fire Drive does 3 times to walls, but it's not that incredible against walls because Top Shot will not just hit the walls. Top Shot will hit the defenses behind it as well. And same with Flak, because it's got a better spread, they'll hit the defenses behind it. And the problem with Fire Drive is that it shortens the range as well. So he's worse than Top Shot and Flak in terms of range. He's not that much better than Top Shot and Flak in terms of damage because it only really affects walls. And then it bursts into walls doing 75% of the bot's DPS. And that's the same as Top Shot. So he does better against walls than Top Shot, but if walls are a big issue for you, then yeah. And I think if we looked at Honeycomb again, then yeah, you'd think, yeah, this bot will be really good against Honeycombs. But I think we've moved on from Honeycombs now. I can't see us using them again because just Sludge would come back out again. Sludge is going to get ability 11 eventually. So when Sludge comes to ability 11, I'm sure it'll do more damage to walls in some way. I presume, maybe not. But, there's a reason that Sludge has gone to the background a bit. And that's because, people got a bit more clever with base design. And walls are not as, they're important, but they're not as hard to get through as they were. And like I said, and honeycombs are a thing of the past. So, Fire Drive's been left behind pretty much from the start. Overall, bot damage increased by 12%. It's not enough, 12%. It's not. Not when the likes of Top Shot increased by 75% in the area, plus 100% what they already do. So that's the problem with Fire Drive. The fact that he's only good against walls. That's pretty much it. It's okay. It's not bad. But again, he shortens range, which is not great. There's a reason that people put Top Shot on Flak on Jets, is to make them gunners to increase their range. Because the reason people didn't use them before is because the short range got them in trouble with their low health. So Jets now with Top Shot sit back a bit more. So that's where Fire Drive is. And that's the problem with Fire Drive. Ariel's good point there. That's a good thing I need to address. Ariel's put with Fire Drive, does that include ability damage? Not a single combat in the game does or will ever increase ability damage. I'm pretty sure by that. And even by the part where I'm saying and ever. The apes have specifically said that combats only affect a bot's normal attack. It will never affect the bot's ability. So that goes for any bot. It will not affect the bot's ability. Every single one. Sharksy put Fire Drive doesn't suck. It's just all right at best. It's just better options, Sharksy. Personally, I would have a 3-star top shot over a 4-star fire drive. I really would, because of the range. What you don't want with your healers is it's good to have lines. So you've got your tanks on one line, you've got your gunners and jets on another line, and you've got your healers behind. And it's 3 distinct lines. And having those lines sort of means that the defenses hit your tank and you're going to sit back. And even with, mortars doing range damage, they don't really hit your gunners as much. As soon as you put fire drive on, you have a line of tanks, then fire drive, then a line of gunners, then a line of healers. It adds another line to your attack. It decreases the range. And that's the main problem with him that I find. And also the fact that it doesn't do as much damage as Top Shot and Flak or most other combats as well. So it definitely needs looking at. In terms of Trench Foot as well, it deals 1.3 more damage to targets under fire, acid, EMP, or speed reduction. Okay, so fire. What bots have we got that are in the meta that are very good that have targets under fire? So you could say gold fire, but then that lasts for 13 seconds. It's not like you use gold fire, then you go over the same defense again, then the same defense again. So it has limited use really. And then top of my head, fire. I don't know. Any fire bots that are really in the meta right now? Not as much really. Acid bots, Scattershot's all right, but he's limited. Not everyone's got him yet. Double Dealer, again, he's all right. Sharks put Scavenger sort of meta, but not really. Not everyone uses him. 6 gun. But the problem there, right? So we've got Pyromagna, definitely not. Pyromagna is definitely not meta. So here's a good example: 6 gun. So the advantage that 6 gun has got is damage and range. So when you use 6 gun and you use them at a distance, by the time Trenchfoot catches up, the fire's gone. Stormclash again, because you use Stormclash at range, then no, it won't really work because you're using Stormclash for range. If you're going to use Stormclash for a defense that's right in front of you, you might as well use a gunner. And even then, you're not going to hit a structure that your bots are already targeting. So Trenchfoot doesn't take effect on long range ones. So again, we're struggling. We're struggling for bots that use fire in an area close to your bot. You could say Sunstreaker, but again, he's used for range. Again, Snarl is a good example. I will give you that one. Slugger is not in the meta. But yes, Snarl is. Yeah, so Snarl's a good bot to pair with Trenchfoot. I'm not saying put it on Snarl. I'm just saying have a bot with Trenchfoot if you've got Snarl in your team. But you can see that there's not a lot of options. Afterbreaker, well, that's another thing with Afterbreaker. We can talk about that as well. But yeah, remind me later on to talk about Afterbreaker. I've been showing some screenshots around some chats and it's quite amusing. But again, Afterbreaker is quite underwhelming as well, though. He's not meta, is he? No, we can't use Trenchfoot. But what I'm saying is equip it on a bot with Trenchfoot and then use Snarl as well. And that's how you've got to use Trenchfoot. You can't use Trenchfoot with himself, really. There's not many bots that you can use it like that. There's no point putting Trenchfoot on. I'm trying to think anyone, but and a lot of people say, oh well, I could put Trenchfoot on Chromia, but then if you put Trenchfoot on Chromia, which will then target the EMP, she loses her EMP attack because you got her EMP shock tower path ability, which Trenchfoot works well with. But if you put Trenchfoot on Chromia, then she loses her basic attack, stun, her passive. You don't really want to use that. So again, the problem that you're stuck with is who to put it on. Again, you've got to put it on a different bot. Then what else is there? And then speed reduction. No one uses speed reduction. Let's be honest. It's quite poor, really. So, I think Trenchfoot needs something else. I personally, I would make it 1.5 more damage or even more maybe against shielded bots. I think that would help more. I'd even make it double damage. I would say double damage to bots with a shield. And then you're like, whoa, that's pretty good actually, because bots with a shield are becoming quite a problem in the game. And it opens it up to have better shielded bots. With the likes of Trailbreaker and with the likes of Hotspot, even with ability 11 and things like that going in Outpost, then I think doing damage against shielded bots will be a lot better. And then obviously you've got apply a speed reduction as well on top of that. So I think there's room for improvement on Trenchfoot. But yeah, slows down defenses. But yeah, but let's be honest, but them defenses that you're slowing down will be pretty much dead in seconds anyway. They're defenses that you're already targeting. So they're pretty much gone. But I'm not a fan of slowdown, really. But Sharks put more damage under smoke. No, because then you're forcing people to only use really tracks or against or Skylinks, bots like that. You don't really want to really, stop people from using the sort of bots. Mario's asking about the VIP player. The VIP Discord server will be open, but it's going to come with time. They didn't mention in the Transformers Earth Wars stream that it's going to come with time, but not quite yet. Steve's put, does Top Shot's fire combine with Trenchfoot? I'll be honest, I tried to test it and it was really hard to see because there's so much going on with Top Shot, because it's not constant damage, because it's damage to the sides and it's not the same amount of damage and it's not consistent even to the single target. And then you're trying to work out the calculation of Trenchfoot as well. It's so hard to work out, and possibly, but again, I just prefer Flak with Prime or with Top Shot because that does stack, and not for fact. I think the problem with Trenchfoot as well is maybe it needs something like Primer where it comes up with a symbol to say that it's activated, because it's hard to see sometimes because it doesn't really, change much in appearance. It's hard to see. Mario's asking is to get more people to spend money. No, just what the problem is, right? The reason they want to open the server, it was Dale's idea. And Dale's a pretty cool guy. I think it was Dale's idea anyway. I'm giving him credit for it. The problem is that they put all the information in there. So the event information, the bundles information. And then what people do is, even myself and my Discord server, we screenshot that and we share it to Discord, we share it to Line, we share it between our alliances. Then there's people on Facebook saying, what's this weekend's event? Well, this is the weekend's event. These are the bundles. And the information should be available to everyone. It shouldn't be information that, only VIPs get. So they want to open the server so that everyone knows what bundles are coming this weekend. They want to know, what event is, any bugs that are getting fixed. There's a useful information section where you can check out information on all things that are happening in the game and all stats and things like that. So there's some really good things in that server and really good sections. And it's just a good place to chat with other people. And if you got stuck with something, it's a good sort of place to ask maybe more experienced people on, any advice. So yeah, that's the reason. So, and Kultz has put glitch is good for Smokescreen, and I agree, but that's another reason that I wanted to talk about combats as well. Because I was talking on Facebook with someone, and they said, how good is glitch? So I said, listen, I think glitch is amazing. It's brilliant. I put it on Smokescreen. It does stupid damage. Just like my Smokescreen does about 1,000. Well, it does about between 1,000. Is it? Or I think it does 800 damage per second. To a combiner and bots with a chance at 1,500 with critical. But then the G1 core also increases that again. And I worked out something crazy that it can do about 2,500 damage per second to a combiner. Not every second, because it depends on its critical chance. But even just, that it might do 2,500 damage. I mean, I did some tests and a one test, then I think he hit 2 or 3 criticals against the Max combiner, and it wasn't amazing. And then the next one, it went critical, and it was doing so many critical hits that the combiner just went down about 10 seconds quicker. And yeah, you know what? It is inconsistent, but what you can rely on is that it's going to do incredible damage. But people said, well, why put it on Smokescreen? Surely that's a waste, because Smokescreen's already got that damage. And people say the same about Skyburst, saying, why put on Skyburst? Because Skyburst already has a spread. So it's a waste. Now, it's two different. I kind of agree about Skyburst because it doesn't change in any way, it just increases the damage. And you could say the same about Glitch. But here's the thing about Glitch on Gunners, and there's a bit of a problem with this now, is that Glitch increases the Gunner's range. Having Flak on Skyburst doesn't change your range, it's still the same. But what people don't realise is that when you're using Glitch, Glitch sits about 3 or 4 squares behind the Gunners, usually around where your healers sit. So if you're using Prowl, and Prowl doesn't have the range of Jets, so if you're using Prowl, say, to take out defenses, because he's sitting 4 squares back, he can no longer reach defenses as well anymore. So yeah, it's great in terms of DPS for Prowl and for Warpath. Warpath's a bit different because Warpath can stretch the length of the map. Yeah, fine. Put a glitch on Warpath, brilliant, no problem. Likes of Sunstreaker, likes of Prowl, likes of Jazz, it decreases the range of their ability. That's the problem. And people don't really think about that and really realize that you're decreasing the bot's range by doing that. And it can get you into problems sometimes that you can't reach defenses, but then defenses can easily reach your bots for the sake of mortars, beam lasers easily, especially mortars. Mortars will hit your other gunners before you can reach with Prowl. So I'd honestly recommend that you don't put it on bots that have a limited range. And don't forget it is only available for gunners, so you can't put it on jets. That'd be amazing because they have great range. But no, you can't put it on jets. It's for gunners only. So I'm trying to think of any other gunners that would be good on. Sea spray. Sea spray still has limited range. Don't forget. It's okay on sea spray, but I wouldn't want to lose his spread. I like sea spray's basic attack, so I'm not too sure about sea spray. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't put it on Prowl. Definitely not. Gunners. Gunner. Warpath, like I said, great range. Jazz has still got good range, so maybe on Jazz, not. I wouldn't do on Sunstreaker, and like I said, with Prowl. Not have a Bravo. I'm not too sure about Sea Spray. Doesn't have amazing range, so I'm not too sure about Sea Spray. Hound has good range, so it wouldn't be too bad on Hound actually. And I'd love to see a 5-star Hound personally. And looking at other gunners in the game that'd be viable too. But you get the gist. Mirage, again, you're reducing his range, not the ability range, but the range that he can, fire at. So be careful when you're putting glitch on a bot. Don't just think, oh, I'm good. I've got that gunner and I've got glitch. Think about the implications of putting glitch actually on that gunner. And if you're still happy with it, then yeah, fine, no problem. But yeah, it can cause some problems. And yes, these put Warpath and Smokey are really the best fit for glitch. I'd agree. Yeah, you want a bot with good range because Warpath's range is infinite and Smokescreen's is close. Then yeah, it doesn't matter about increasing their range. You know what I mean? Smokescreen's got increased range anyway. But with Warpath, because it's infinite, don't worry about it. And then we've got sound barrier. And I've had a few. The problem I've got is that my Goldfire needs a combat. And I don't know what to put on him. I'll be honest with you. I'm a bit stuck. Because the problem you've got with Goldie, with attaching a most people use him for sacrifice Goldie. Most people. So you're looking at, Taraxodon. Now, Taraxodon calls an earthquake, dealing 30% of the bot's DPS value area, which is okay, and then heals him. So if you're using Liege, that's pretty good. Yeah, Megatron, it's all right. It's not bad. It's not going to do incredible damage. It's not going to increase the damage to that extent that, he starts now taking out buildings. Yeah, with using Liege, it might help a bit, but maybe not so much. In terms of Smashdown, defense is a stun, which keeps him alive a bit later. So if you are using Liege, it will keep him alive a bit later. But again, not really to that extent. You're going to put him in an area where, he's getting hit by a lot of defenses. So again, not a great option. Night Stalker, you don't want to use Night Stalker really if you're popping outposts, not ideally. Lionizer increases damage, and then I asked if when Goldfire dies, does Lionizer keep that the age effect? But it doesn't, sadly. That'd be really cool if it did. That would help a lot, but it doesn't. Die all the same as Night Stalker. So limited options, I'll be honest with you. And some people said, what about sound barrier? I think the problem with sound barrier is even at level 7, and I regret taking it to 7 already. You shield nearby allies for 17% of damage for 4 seconds every 15 seconds. Now, if you're in a battle, within 15 seconds, Goldfire's pretty much almost dead. It'll do swipe, 1 second, 2 seconds, swipe, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, swipe, 5 seconds, 6 seconds. By the time you get to 15 seconds, he's already dead. Or, you're dropping your combiner, so it doesn't activate properly. And it's so, it's so unreliable. It's 15 seconds. And let's be honest, 17% isn't a lot either. I think if you got 5-star sound barrier, then, you could be looking at a good bot maybe. And, I just think 17% is not enough for 15 seconds. That's going to be 17 seconds, maybe what? 12 times in a battle, but 17% damage. If you can keep all your bots together, I'm just not convinced by it. I just don't think it's that good. It's okay. And, I just don't think they're going to get to the heights of Flak, Rung, and Top Shot. No, those 3 are amazing. And, for everything else, everything's just okay. They need something for tanks that's really going to shake things up where you look at it and go, wow, this is the one. This is the one for me. Because Lionizer increases DPS. So for a tank, you don't want an increase in DPS. Syrax gives a bit of healing and DPS. You don't really want DPS, but the healing's all right. That's not bad. And then Smashdown, obviously, mostly just against bots and combiners. And then stunning defenses. So maybe survivability, maybe Smashdown's one of the better ones. But yeah. Just seeing any questions in the chat. So Steve talks to Crusher about something. It's not about his ability because of his G1 and glitch. He's hanging back. Sniper War Squad just picking him off. Yes. Just go and look at my stat. I'll go through the stat, and it's a bit awkward to work out. It's a bit, but we'll try our best. I've done the calculations previously, but so you've got Smokescreen, who does 1,800 damage and then 9,954 damage by ability. So let's just round it up to 2,000 damage and 10,000 for ability. Just to round it up, let's pretend it's 62, and that's what it does. At 62, 10 he would anyway. Okay, so G1 core. So his G1 core increases regular damage against enemy bots and combiners by 85%. And then he cloaks himself. Let's concentrate on the damage. Yeah? So increase it by 85%. So by 85%, that means he does 1,000 DPS all the time, 2 combats, and 2 outpost bots. So 1,000 DPS is probably around what a bot with Top Shot would do. Maybe Top Shot a bit more, maybe 1,200. So slightly behind Top Shot. Yeah, against combiners and outposts only though. Yeah, slightly behind Top Shot. To give you an idea, now Top Shot's the best in the game. So yeah, slightly behind Top Shot. Then we look at Glitch on top of that. So Glitch, shoot enemies from a long range, so keeps his range. And a 20, well, I want to get it up to 25%. So 25% of critical, dealing double that. So he'll hit for 2,000 DPS. He'll hit a combiner and outpost for 2,000 DPS every 4 hits. But then causing the target to receive 20% more damage from all targets for 5 seconds. So because he hits for 2,000, 20% of that is an extra 400. So then he will, if he hit a critical hit on a combiner after already hitting him with glitch, he'll hit for 2,400 damage in 1 hit. And you might think, well, critical hits only 1 in 4. I've seen it happen 3 times in a row sometimes. I've seen it quite often hit it twice in a row. But I've seen it also not hitting 3 times. But still, if you can hit a combiner for 2,400 damage, then that's a crazy amount of damage. And don't forget that. Look at the outpost. Is it 80% health they have? 63% health, sorry, 63% health. So if they've got likes of Cheeto, 63% of Cheeto's health is around 8,000 health. So you're taking out a third of Cheeto's health in one hit. So 2 or 3, that's just hit. That's just Smokescreen, And then you could say, looking at Rook. So 60% of Rooks is about 18, 17k, something like that. 16, about 15k. Let's call it 15k. 15k health to round it round. So Rook's 15k health. So Smokescreen hits him with glitch and gets a critical hit of 2,000. That puts him down to 13. And then he hits Rook again with critical, puts him down to 10. Then you use the ability, and in 2 seconds, Rook is gone. Just 2 hits from Smokey, 3 ability points, Rook's gone. And Rook's one of the biggest, tankiest bots in the game. Then do the same for Blaster. 2 more seconds. You hit him a couple of times. You hit him for 10,000 health damage. Then Blaster's down. You can go through this. For all the outpost bots is 12 ability points, and they're all gone in pretty much 2 or 3, 5 seconds max. So that is absolutely ridiculous that you can just clear the outpost bots so quickly. And you can even look at combiners, because combiners have 50% HP. Yeah, I see about Smokey in and outpost, and we'll go on to that as well. But looking at the combiners have 50% HP, and then my typical combiner has about, I think, around 70% health. 70k health, sorry. Not 70%. Where's defense door? Oh, there it is. So yeah, let's call it 70k for the argument's sake. You can call it 60k if you want, whatever. So, you can easily this is just Smokescreen, don't forget. It's not any other bot touching him. Just 3 ability points, and you're knocking a third off the combiner's health, because they're already at half health, so looking around 35k. So pretty much, if you use Smokescreen twice, that combiner's gone by the time it takes damage as well from other bots. So he really does kill, and outpost bots and combiners so effectively, crazily so. So if you're struggling with combiners, I said in the past, if you're struggling with combiners, struggling with outposts, he is your number one bot. He really is. And then in terms of even an outpost, your outposts are at full health, and but the bots, look at an outpost again, they still do the same amount of DPS. So he will still do the same damage against your bots. He's got less health, yes, but the idea is that he sits well back, and he'll be behind your combiner. He'll be behind your outpost bots while they're battling. He'll sit back. And if he can do that, which you have no control over, but if he does that, then, he's hitting your bots for 2,500 at a time, which is, ridiculous. So crazy. Yeah. Hugely underrated in outposts. Hugely. I think the problem lies that if you do a sack in some way, if he gets attacked at all, he's dead. He's dead. So yeah. And Mike Berg is asked a question, and I will touch upon this as well and go a bit through it. I want to talk about the process a bit. And I try and tell you guys what I can about playtesting, but obviously I'm stuck to only be able to discuss certain things. I can't discuss anything until I get given the go ahead by the apes. But there's certain things that I like to try and keep you guys updated with. So we are testing batch 3, but we've only got 5 of the bots for now. So we've got 5 of the bots. We're going to test them and try and balance them the best we can, and then get them in within range of where they should be with just some minor changes. Then the apes normally give us the other 5, and then we test them. It's because if you give it all 10 at once, the chat gets swamped. So they give us 5, we sort of balance them. They can work on 5 then, and then while we're balancing, then they tend to work on the other 5 and then put them in. And that's the idea. But there's a few good war bots in there already, even with just a 5, which they promised in their stream. I'm hoping for a few more, but we are testing that. We are currently testing Grapple, and he's in a bit of an in-between stage. He's not quite right yet. But yeah, I think he needs a slight improvement to be a good bot. But someone made a good point that in the current game, he's pretty good, but as the game progresses, he'll be very good as the game progresses. And I've said that there's certain bots that will last. The likes of bots, and listen, I'm not saying Grapple has a shield by any means, and I'll be honest with you, it doesn't. I'll just put that out there. But so Defensor has a shield that reflects. That will scale with the game because he reflects damage back. So any sort of bots that level with the HQ levels will tend to do, well at later levels. So yeah, he's looking good, and I think will increase as the game goes on in how viable and how part of the meta he is. So yeah, looking pretty good. We're also balancing punch and counter punch, and he's looking pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I hated punch and counter punch when it came out. I don't know if I was a 4-star. I ain't even bothered. I weren't bothered at all. I was like, I'm not bothered if I ever get counter punch and counter punch. Now, would he win a war team? I'm not too sure about that. But that says a lot that has come from, I don't even want this bot, to it'd be pretty good. I think it could fit in a lot of people's war teams very easily. Very easily. And could be quite a desirable bot. So looking forward to him being released. And I've been talking with Dale. I'm not too sure. I did see him in the chat earlier. So hey Dale, if you're still there. I was talking with Dale earlier about the need to keep improving bots. We haven't improved a single bot in a year other than 5 stars. And I keep saying that that's an elitist attitude that I don't like. And you know what? That benefits me. It does. But it's not fair for the lower guys. And, the fact that HQ 17 has been a really slow progress isn't great for me. It's great for the lower guys to catch up. The fact that they haven't raised bots past 65, it slowed me down. It slowed other people down. But it's made other people be able to reach that ceiling faster. So these are all catch-up mechanics. So in terms of leveling, great catch-up mechanics. In terms of resources, some great catch-up mechanics. The availability of bots and more 4-star crystals and spark and stuff like that. So great catch-up mechanics. I think the catch-up mechanics that I've mentioned in the past, the ones where the problem lies, the catch-up mechanics are in research times. I mean, I've got so many bots I need to research, and I'm not even trying to get them through the lab, really. 3 stars. But, if I've got all them, then what some people have, they need to sort out research times. They really need to. And the other side of catch-up mechanics is making all bots. My big thing is that you should never pull a bot and go, what the hell? I'm fuming. I'm fuming with this pull. Yes, there are going to be some bots that are better than others, some more viable, some more meta. But every bot you pull, you should go, you know what? He's not the best, but I can use him. I know I can use him. I can put him in a squad because he's good at this. Every bot should be good at something. And then the question is he viable for your team? Some people's yes, some people's not. And that's where we'll go on to the Discord questionnaire as well. But just a few questions first. So Silverbox put, is he glitched? It doesn't drop from crystals at all. Is that true? If that is true, then I'll pass it to the apes because I've still not got him. But I'm not too sure. I haven't got him either, but maybe he is. But yeah, we are tweaking punch. And yeah, he's very good. And yeah, Firestorm, he did kind of die. Not kind of died, he died. He died a terrible death. Well, let's be honest, it's like a zombie. He was never alive. He was always dead, even from the start. But yeah, he's looking pretty good now. Sharks is but hashtag make a third research lab spot. I think the problem is they don't. I wouldn't want a third lab spot for level 60 bots. You don't need it. There's two already. It's enough. Personally, 1 to 50, yes, I would give a third research slot, but not for level 60s. And someone made a good point of just making it for 3 stars. And I think that'll even speed up the lower guys again. Again, these catch-up mechanics are not to speed the top guys up, they're to speed the lower guys up. So even having a 3-star research lab for 1 to 50, that would be pretty good. I think that'd help. But yeah, I agree there's too many. And yes, Dale is in the chat. So yeah, thanks for responding, Dale. And yeah, he agrees that you should always be happy with a pull. Any more questions? Again, Hassan's put, I want a pull from batch 4, but I fear sludge. But you don't know what ability 11 is going to do. Ability 11 will revitalize some bots. Just keep that in mind. And save that pull. But I do agree right now, sludge is not meta, but he is an incredible tank. But that's my point on sludge. That is incredible tank, great against walls, not good against anything else. And someone said, well, once you've got through all the walls, or say there's no walls, in the base that are really a problem, what use is sludge at all? You've got to target a wall. And that can be a bit problematic. But what if it did something, his ability 11, and it did something in that area near to a wall? So you can target one piece of wall, but does something in that area still. So it's viable for other ways. So maybe. Streetwise and Cinetway, we'll talk on that in a minute as well. Ironhide is awful. Dale's put, I think we could drop upgrade tokens. Well, again, we're going to talk about China and yeah, and things that China have that could come to the game. But yeah. Okay, so we'll jump on to the Discord server vote. So I wanted to know your top 3 bots in the game. And like I said, I've got to apologize. I had a bit of an alternative motive. It was a good idea for video, but I wanted to do a bit of what's the word? Gain some information together to prove a point. So my argument has always been that the last year of bots has been so lackluster that these bots are not good enough. We need to improve new bots. So I asked everyone their top 3 bots, and I wanted to see how many people chose a bot from the last year. So these bots, so I think the year started pretty much with Strafe. Red Alert, I think, was around Christmas. And I think Strafe came in January because I remember getting excited about Computron last year, so around January time. So we'll cut off from Strafe. So we've got Strafe, Dinobot, Nose Cone, Brainstorm, 6-Gun, Chromia, Lightspeed, Double Dealer, Afterbreaker, Trailbreaker, and Scattershot. So it's not fair on Trailbreaker and Scattershot. They're still quite new. So I don't think it's fair to really include them in that, really. But, Hoist is still this year, I'd say. But look at all them. But here's some of the votes. So Chromia, I've seen someone put in the Chromia. Chromia, that's it. I agree, Chromia is immense. She got 4 votes. 4 votes in total. And you're talking about 30 or 40 votes here of 3. So you're talking 120 different votes. And Chromia got 4. 6-Gun got 3. Strafe got 1. No one else got a single vote. I think Dinobot might have got 1 maybe. Brainstorm, Nose Cone, Lightspeed, Double Dealer, Afterbreaker didn't get a single vote. So how are these new bots not some of people's favorites? We've got new players in the game that are still collecting bots from 3 years ago. And to emphasize this, First Aid got 4 votes. First Aid has been in the game for 4 years. You've got a bot that's been in the game for 4 years that got the same amount of votes as a bot that was here last year, who's considered really powerful. So is Chromie really powerful, or is she just the same as every other bot? Is she really? Yeah, I know. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say Chromie is not that good. I think Chromie is immense. The point I'm making is that she's good, but all these bots from last year should be better than previous versions, in my opinion. Dinobot should be better than Rook and better than RC because the newer bot. It should be an upgrade. You should have RC and Rook and look and think, whoa, Dinobot is so much better. I could do with Dinobot in my team. Strafe should be at least on par with Sentius. I was talking with Grindtime about this, and he said, well, Yeah, he is better than Sentius in some ways, but the problem is that because Strafe targets defenses, it goes out ahead and gets died. If Sentius had Strafe's health and Strafe Sentius health, it'd make more sense because then Sentius could sit back a bit more using ability because he uses ability and stays back more. Strafe goes ahead and could use more health, but I'd rather have Sentius all day over Strafe. Nose cone, we know. Don't even get me started. Don't get me started on nose cone. It's such a shame because the idea was so OP, but the way that people use him in his range is disgraceful. But then if you buff him, it's going to be ridiculous. And I don't want to get into that debate, but it's so crazy. Brainstorm was so OP in testing and got scaled back, and now there's rumors that it doesn't work right. So I'm not a big fan of Brainstorm. He's okay, he's pretty good, but is he better than Air Raid? No, he's probably a downgrade from Air Raid. So why bother? You know, Six Gun got 3 votes. So Six Gun's pretty good because he does good damage, good range, but he still has his problems with, humping walls. I said that, they should bring out a combat that stops bots humping walls and give it to Six Gun, or just make Six Gun's ability 11 avoids walls, and that would make him so much better. That's honestly what I said. Let's just give Six Gun ability 11 avoid walls. But I get why he does it. I get the pathing, but just not good. Chromie, we agree, is great. Lightspeed is ridiculously bad. And even in testing, I said, I think the words that I use, and you know that I'm a pretty honest guy and I'm pretty open and I wear my heart on my sleeve and I say it as it is. Some people don't like that sometimes and I get offended, but hey, I'm sorry if I offend you. I'm not going to hold it against you. I can argue with someone one day and then have a laugh and joke the next. You could ask Barry about that. But, Lightspeed, I think the word I used was trash. I'm pretty sure I put this bot is trash and got told off for using such words. But it's true. And After Breaker, so someone said in the chat earlier, After Breaker is pretty good. But the problem is, After Breaker does Rings of Fire. So I used 4 abilities. 4. So think about that. Think about if you use Goldfire 4 times in the same area. Gone. Everything gone. Think about Star Saber. Think about Rust Dust. Think about Dust Up if you use Dust Up 4 times in the same area. I used After Breaker 4 times in the same area, and it took about half the health off defenses. So 4 uses. It's like 30 ability points in a huge area, but for 30 ability points, you'd think he'd be able to clear an area, and he can. So his damage is awful. Awful. I mean, looking at mine, 55. I leveled it to pop Outpost, which again has got a problem with it when I talk about. So Ring of Fire, level 55, does 700 damage. And up to 8 times does bolts of electrical fire. But those electrical fire, I'm pretty sure, will also hit resource buildings. So you're not even guaranteed that. But couple both together, does 1,500 damage. But you're not guaranteed them electric bolts to even hit defenses. And then by the time he's done it, unless you got Amalgamus on, he's dead. So you've got to put Amalgamus on him. But the problem being is that when it comes to shark mines, you probably notice that every time you pass a shark mine, it drops a shark. But while using abilities, they don't attack. So say there's 4 shark mines on the map. So After Break goes 1 ring, 4 Sharkticons. Another ring, 8 Sharkticons. Another ring, 12 Sharkticons. Another ring, 16 Sharkticons. Before you know it, you've got 20 Sharkticons on the map waiting for him to finish his ability or to attack your other bots. It's just an absolute. I've got the screenshot on Discord. I've done a bit of a meme, making a joke out of it, and it's ridiculous. Honestly, the amount of Sharkticons that spawn, and it just makes After Breaker unusable because he keeps doing those rings. Well, at HU 17 anyway. At lower levels, great. Pop so many, outposts, great range, ridiculous. But with all those sharks, then it's incredible that he just pops all those outposts, but then pops so many sharks at the same time, so it goes against you. So yeah, After Break is not great either. And And my biggest put after great is okay in ops. The problem with anyone in an outpost is combiners. That combiners can, you know, take away from that. So you've got to look at bots that also not just ability, but in terms of HP and damage as well. So like Blaster, for argument's sake, that it's not as ability. Once his ability is used, it still stays there. Chromia can sometimes last longer than a combiner. So there's that issue. But me and Grind Time were doing some testing the other day, and Grind Time show back me up that we tried with After Breaker, and his ability was not great. It didn't do much. We tried it with Cup and stopping his shielding, and it didn't always work. I think one time he gave up and didn't bother because he couldn't see Cup. One time it worked, and he took Cup's shield away. We were testing about. I think we were testing about Lagooning and just like what bots were good against defending it and things like that. And then another time that it just used ability where Cup wasn't even there. So very unreliable. Very unreliable. Scattershot and Hoist are looking decent, maybe in Trailbreaker. But yeah, I just think we need to push these bots on a bit better. Even Double Dealer, is he the worst triple changer in the game? Is he worse than Sandstorm? Maybe. Worse than I think he's worse than Skylinks. I don't think he's good as Skylinks. But he's not better. You can't undoubtedly go, oh, you're talking rubbish, Wozza. You're talking rubbish. Double Dealer's well better than Skylinks. And yeah, you can equip gunner classes, but his damage is not quite as good. So and he's a bit more expensive as well. So for me, that's how it should be. The newer bot should be looking at going, yeah, that's definitely an upgrade. For me, Double Dealer should have had the same damage as Lynx, the same range, but being able to equip Top Shot. And there you look, right, okay, well, I've got Skylink. Skylink runs off a lot. That's a big problem with Skylinks. But now I've got a bot that does the same as Skylinks, but will sit back and can equip Gunner Cores. Yep, he's a must-have. I'm going to go and get him. But it's not. It's a case of, yeah, it can equip Gunner Cores, it's got a good range, but it doesn't do as much damage and is more costly. So maybe not. And that's the problem. All these newer bots need to be better than older bots. And that's the problem. Okay, and then on to China server as well. So yeah, as I said earlier, I've been playing China server quite a bit. And there's a few things in there that are interesting. And anyone that's played China knows that it's heavily monetized. It's a lot cheaper than global, but there's no lagoons. It's almost impossible to get prime. Look at the cons first, because as soon as I start mentioning that it's easy to get bots and bundles are cheaper, everyone goes, "Wow, sign me up for China," and I did that. But leveling bots is so much harder because there's no lagoons. Sharks put your thought like, well, maybe, but I don't know. But no one uses them. Not that I can see. They're not available. I think if they are, you can't see them in bundles and things like that. I can see. I could be wrong. I've been playing it a few days again, but I went to look for a lagoon. I had some coins and cells from when I quit the game. I couldn't upgrade it. That's another question again. So, but yeah, but lagoons aren't that good. No, they don't have lagoon bundles at all. They haven't got this weekend anyway. And I talked about lagoon leveling, and no one mentioned that they have them. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but bots are a lot lower level at lower levels, and also they take more XP on China as well. A lot more XP. So you've got the fact that you need more XP. It's harder to get XP. It's easy to get bots because it's the bundles are cheaper. And as Dale mentioned earlier about upgrade tokens, when you get a new bot, you can choose to pay to take it straight to 50, and you get coins and cells as well. I think the problem with that is that you're taking the fun out of leveling, but also, I think the problem is that you send the bot to 50, you get coins and cells, but then you've got to put it in lab for 51, I'm pretty sure. And then what you're going to use your coins and cells for? Other bots? No. For me, it should take it to 51, and then you can use the cells and coins to take it up to 60. And, it is hefty, guys. You're talking like, I think it's about $50, which is, everything's pretty much half the price on China. So you're talking $100 and you'll get 15,000 coins, maybe. I think you'll get 500 cells. So you get half an SBB into the coins. You get 500 cells and a bot to 51. So it's costing you 15,000 coins to get a bot from 0 to 51. It's not really worth it. in that sense. It's a cool idea and it's quick, but it's not worth the coins. There's so many things that it's frustrating because there's so many good things with China and so many bad things. And there's so many good things with global and so many bad things. And everything that global does well, events, wars are amazing on global. They're not that good on China. They're pretty poor, really. But the cost of bundles, the cost of cells, the amount of deals available, there's loads on China. You're talking 10, 12, 15 different deals at a time, maybe even more. Whereas we get five on global and we're like, whoa, we got five different deals. Well, that's the quiet week in China. Geez, you had five deals in China, you'd be like, what's going on? It's like 20 different deals. You've got reward cards, you've got battle passes, you've got upgrade tokens, you've got cheap bundles, you've got mixed bundles, you've got pick your own bundle where you can add this and add that. So in terms of getting bought, it's amazing. If you're a guy who wants to collect 5 stars, go over to China, give it a go. Amazing. If you're a guy that wants to be competitive in events and in wars, then don't really bother. They're not that much fun, really. The wars and the events in China, nowhere near as much fun. So it's hard, really. If global and China sort of combined, I think it'd be absolutely immense. I really do. And I'm sure that there's some reason why they don't do things the same. But it is what it is. Another 5 star spot is because China's China. Yeah, true, pretty much. Pretty much. But leveling bots is costly on China. They even have an auto leveling where you put your bots down, you just say to it, listen, I want to do one team or multiple teams, I want to climb my bots or I don't, and I want to buy fuel cells or not, go. And you press a button and it does all fire, but they don't use abilities. So the problem is that I came up against a few bases where I was like, yes, it's pretty easy, but they die because they don't use abilities. There was a base that I could have cupped easily because all the defenses up front, HQ was at the back on its own. Now you can't stop it mid battle. So once you're in the battle, that's it. You're stuck in it. And I could have just used cup. I could have put cup on, set into the HQ, killed the HQ, done. But the bots went through the base, died, and I was like, what? So although it's quicker, it's not more efficient in terms of XP, and sometimes it doesn't work to your advantage. So again, pros and cons, some good ideas, but don't really work in essence. But yeah, I'm enjoying being back with the China community though. It's a bit different than global, and it's a bit more fun, and that's what I've been doing for the last 2 days, just getting to grips with that again and ask some questions. And again, I've just been out a bit of family time, and that's why my points are a bit low. And yeah, it's been good though. It's been good to get back to China though. A big problem with everyone though is keeping your account because you can't link it to Play Store. So if for some reason you lose your account, you've got to make sure that you've got screenshots of your bots, your base name, what alliance you're in, everything like that, what HQ you are, the last thing that you bought, you've got a receipt and all these sort of things that China actually are very, very strict on giving codes, a lot more strict than global are. And you've just got to make sure that you've got all this information because if you lose your account, you've lost it. And they don't budge. They really don't budge. If you've got all that information, they'll give you your account. If you haven't, you ain't getting it back. And like I said, it's heavily monetized. If you're free to play, it is very hard on China to get bots. If you want to spend a bit, it's a lot easier. So yeah, different things, like I said. But yeah, and if anyone wants to give China a try, come into my Discord. I'm sure one of the mods will post a link for me. But yeah, join Discord and check out the China section. And yeah, I'm sure Barry won't mind to begin with that if you just go in there, go in the China section and just say, hey, Barry, I want to try China. Have you got a link to the channel? And sorry, no, a link to the game, sorry, and how to download it. It's helped me. I was struggling. Basically, I need updating, and he helped me update it, and I'm back on China again. And yeah, it can be a bit fiddly, and I can help you maybe a bit, but Barry is definitely the guy to ask, without a doubt. Okay, so before we finish the stream off, I want to do a bit of leveling, show you how I level my 3 stars. Free to play, that's an important part. Free to play. So this is how I play events where I'm not spending. We've obviously got a leaderboard coming up. So it's a big, big event. So yeah, the focus is all on that for now. Part of the leaderboard, planning on getting my Jetfire up to I think it's 62, is it 63? No, 64. Sorry, wow, I forgot I got him 63 already. So I need to get him 64 to be able to one shot an MDS or a launcher or beam laser next to a shield generator. Around 7,400 is the magic number. And I've looked at upgrading the G metal to max. It'd take pretty much every core I've got and still wouldn't do it, or might just about. And I thought, you know what, rather than using all my cores just to make him one shot, I'll just take him up a level. Job done. And for what, maybe 50 battles. So 50 battles is 250 fuel cells. He will be there. He'll be to 64. And that leaves me another 250 with an SBB to level Smokescreen up a few levels. So I can hopefully get Smokescreen to 63 as well. That's the plan. So dead quick, I've got a question from Airelf saying, I've heard something about wrong on first aid. Is that a bad idea? Yes, it is. And here's why. I don't want to. We tested this, we crunched numbers, and I'd say that we crunched numbers more on wrong than any other bot. So you've got to think that Ratchet does a beam, a straight line. So wrong adds extra healing aside. So my run, my 5-star, adds 34% next to that beam. Yeah? So either side of it to bots around it. Okay. But because first aid does AoE healing already, let's just get first aid. He's up there somewhere because I use him on my war team. There he is. Just before we do that quick, just want to say a massive thank you to Grind Time for donating. And yeah, thank you again to anyone that's ever donated. And yeah, quick shout out that you can get in my VIP section of Discord by donating $20. Let's not talk too much about that. But yeah, thank you for donating, Grind Time. Really appreciate it. And thank you to anyone else that's donated as well. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. That helps me just as much. If you can't do a donation, I get it. I've no problem with that. Fine. But what you can do is you can like the video and you can subscribe. It doesn't cost you a penny. So make sure you are at least doing that. Okay, let's just take the chat off the screen for 1 second. I can still see the chat though on my device. So because he does AoE healing, so it's 180 healing in an area. So 180 healing. So let's just go back a minute. That's what the stats. So 180 healing. So wrong, we'll take that down to a third of that. We'll make it 60. Because it heals the allies around but doesn't extend the area. So it takes his healing down to 60. And I won't say who, but a fellow playtester said in the chat, that is ridiculous that you put a combat on a bot and it reduces it. Can we not give first aid a single beam when he equips wrong? And they said, no, it's too complicated. Sometimes some bots just aren't applicable for things. And we weren't really happy with that, but that's the way it was, sadly. And, wrong will make first aids reduced by a third. Whereas Ratchet, because it gives 33%, Ratchet will do 377 healing to one target, and then we'll do 110 to targets around. So you've got to think that Ratchet will do, let's call it 300. Let's say it's a 4-star, and it's the same level as first aid. He'll do 300 to one target, and he'll do 100 target to bots next to them. Whereas first aid will do 60 healing to all the bots. So by putting wrong on first aid, it makes his AoE healing less than his whole AoE, his whole healing, first aid's whole healing will be less than just the AoE part of Ratchet's, which is crazy. So definitely don't put wrong on first aid. Definitely not. The only advantage that you do get, is that you do get the shield. But are you really going to reduce your healing by 2/3? Not reduce by a third, reduce by 2/3 to a third, just for every 10 seconds getting a shield? No. The other 10 seconds, you're worked off. So definitely don't put wrong on first aid. Yeah. Okay, so event time. And yeah, Jason Roller's got a good point. Strikes for first aid, rung for wheeljack. Well, strike for first aid will keep him alive, but anything, put Night Stalker on him, put Dial on him. Personally, I think we need another healing combat that helps first aid. I really do, in some way. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, that's for the 8 to decide. Okay, so how I run the event. So I'm trying to level some 3-stars, get them up in level, but I don't want to use any coins. So I've set my teams up. I've got different teams for different reasons. So you can see here that I've got a team that's applicable for Zone 14. See, 19k needed, got 21k team. And what I do is I just substitute in the 3-star bots at the end. So I've got Smokescreen there. He needs to get to 30. We've got Ruster, so we can add them in. We've got Smokescreen there, so we're going to attack Zone 14. And I'd say 90% of the time these teams win. So we'll see. I've balanced them very carefully by putting at least 2 or 3 tanks in there, by making sure there's 1 or 2 gunners in there, adding some sort of protection, whether it's a healer or a tracks or first aid in some way. And yeah, there's different sort of composition. Don't just put all your best bots in one. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm going down in zones. I'm not a big fan of that. It gets you mixed up sometimes. I like to stick to one zone, be consistent, but balance it out. And all about the power. You know, if you've got 6 tanks in one, you've got one in the other one healer, then that one's going to struggle. If he's got loads of powerful bots, it's going to struggle because there's not enough tanks. The one with 5 tanks and a healer is going to struggle to get through the base in time. So it's about a balance. So you can see there we've got Hotspot, we've got Otis Prime, we've got Scented Magnus, we've got 3 tanks. Then we've got 2 gunners in Jetfire and Blades. I'm pretty sure, yeah, we've got Flak on there. So yeah. Then we've got a healer for protection and Skylinks for a bit of a AoE as well. And then Smokescreen is just a bot, just there. That's it. Okay, so going to put the bots on this side. I'm going to try and pack them upwards. So we'll hack all these here. I'm hacking them, not to destroy them, hacking them so they stop hitting my bots. You can see that I don't need to hit them right now. So we'll start with these here. Try to hit these out. And we're going to use Optimus Prime. I think we're going to use Hotspot up there. And then we'll use Optimus Prime up there like that. I just remembered that Smokey is not my top level one that I'm used to. But never mind. We're going to try and take this section out here. And then do a bit of damage here as well with Skylinks. So I'm going to rush upwards in a minute. I want to get close to the HQ. So I don't want all these hitting me. Notice I kept that one intact, that mortar. Rush around there. And as usual, Scented Magnus gets stuck on a wall along with Lynx. And that's why those sort of bots struggle in wars. Then we're going to hit it at the HQ with everything we've got. Hit it with Jetfire. Face down. All you need is Blades and Ratchet for this base. Well, yes, until you come up against a Mind Wipe or a Chromia or a Smokescreen. And it doesn't matter how much healing you've got. If you've got against a Smokescreen, you've got a gunner, then you're dying. So you can see there, we're just going through the bots, leveling them all up. 27, 28, we'll get to 30. Ah, so short. Just short. Okay. And then literally, we go to the next team. Let's do them again. So we're going to the next one. And you can see there, and then we've got Dinobot. Let's just make sure that he's not maxed out. We can find him. Where's he gone? Yep, so he's maxed out, so I can take him off the team now. So I'm trying to get them all up to like 30-ish. So I'm trying to get also use the ones that are more relevant. The ones that can solo zones and the good bots and things like that. So we'll put Percy in. He's a decent bot. So you can see there we've got Blaster, and you can see there's not as many tanks in there. And the reason is the Blaster's got Night Stalker and Quintus, which pretty much counts for another tank. We've got Red Alert in there. We've got Goldfire. I'm going to sacrifice Goldfire. do some damage, and then we're going to finish it off. Again, it's just balanced, so our team works together. So you should have done Blades, Ratchet, and Sentius. Well, still, even then, you come up against Chromium. You can put a full team in there, and you come up against Chromium, and you're going to be stuck. Unless you've got, I suppose you could hack it with Blade, maybe. Does Blades hack Chromia Tower? I'm not too sure. I've never tried. I just avoid them. I'll be honest with you. See, look, HQ 17 in zone 14, which is crazy. So we're going to put Blaster down first. Put on this side. I want them to path upwards and not go downwards, so we're going to put them all there. And then straight away, put the minions down. That's what we want. And you can see I've pathed it so all the bots go upwards. And we're going to go Gold Fire. We're going to do Red Alert. And then Cheeto. And then Goldie again. And hopefully it can just get through all his defense. I'm going to check, see if there's any. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, Percy's dead. I was going to hack the shock tower, but no, I'm not. I'm going to use 6 gun up there. It's a thunderstorm, so we need to get rid of it now. I'm not going to hack it. And then let's cheat for these defenses with Cheeto. You can see there that Blaster and Cheeto will stay alive for a long time. And it's just a case of using Red Alert just to make sure they stay alive. Let's get probably a bit closer. Take that out because he's from range. Cheetah should do the rest, maybe. No, he's gone for HQ instead. Let's just make sure the minions go down. They'll last against that HQ that easily. Again, Blaster and Cheeto last the length with the first aid. Bots there as well, keeping them alive. Hashins asked, what combats do I recommend for Ultra Magnus? I'm not a big fan of Ultra Magnus, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, probably Trax, maybe. Lionizer. I like Drax personally, or Smashdown. They're my 2 favorites out of the bots for melee bots. So yeah, I'd definitely recommend those 2. 5 stars. Who's won Discord server? I haven't even picked the winners yet. I literally gave people to the start of the stream, and obviously I'm doing my stream, so I can't even tell you right now. We've got Percy in there. It's okay. We'll swap him out for someone else. We don't want to coin him. We're going free to play. So don't want to bother with them bots really. Let's try and level some of these. We've got first aid there, so we can put first aid in there. I think there's another team later on, but it doesn't matter. You can't use sound barrier on him. Is sound barrier for warriors? And is Ultra Magnus a special bot? I can't remember if special or warrior. Maybe he's special actually. I've tested mini combats with no. Got a no. I think I tried Smashdown on no. But I've only got 4-star no. He's not in my war team, but I can't remember actually. I did try someone on no and was quite impressed with it. It might have been Tarax. I'm not sure. I'm not too sure if the Sharticons heal him for an amount of damage. I can't remember. I can't remember if it's Blaster or no. I can't remember, to be honest with you, but yeah. Cool Tals put one to get FA to 40 in this one battle. No, I'm not bothered about getting to 40 in this one battle. But you know, it's just about leveling armor bots in these events and just getting points and just leveling the 3 stars up to get my play level up and then ready for Zen. So I'm not in no rush to get them up. It's you know, I'm not too bothered. Again, I'm going to put down a bot there. I'm going to put all the rest of the bots up here to path them. So we are going to pop the outpost with Dinobots. There we go. Pop them outposts. And I'm going to use Chromium's tower up there to stun on. We'll use Prowl up there. Well, notice I'm keeping away from the shock towers. First aid. Many bots down. Just need to get through these outposts. And you see there that Ratchet's doing an incredible job of keeping them alive. 5-star Ratchet is an absolute beast. So let's pop that outpost over there. Do need some more ability points though to get Gromir down. I need 7, but when I get to the HQ, that should work out fine, I think. Should have enough then. If Gromir's still alive. One more ability point, and then that should do it. Yep. There we go. See you later. There we go. And now they got no chance. So not a Ratchet's healing. Not a chance. Yeah, Frisco, I'm pretty sure I put tracks down. No, I'm pretty sure. And it worked well. Just sticks in my mind. Hashin's put, does he not die faster at higher base zones? Who? I'm not too sure you're on about there. Does who die? You mean no? Yeah, it's health an issue, but the 5-star is ridiculous. 5-star no is absolutely incredible. I'd love a 5-star no. Ironhide. I don't like Ironhide. It's pretty awful. He's awful. He's got great health, but his ability is one of the worst in the game. Yes, you can use Perceptor and Shock Tower to hack them, but mine died. Got Hound Vamp. Is he maxed out yet? Let's have a look. Hound Vamp is maxed out, so we can do Nose Cone. Dreaded Nose Cone. Again, you can see it's a bit less a tank save, but the reason is that we're going to use Star Saber to do a lot of damage, Swoop to clean up, and then we're going to use Rook in front of Nor's minions and we can protect them with tracks. That's the idea. And then you use Silverbolt to take out any single defenses. So double Saber swipe, put Rook down, put Nor's minions down, then use tracks, then use Swoop, then use Silverbolt. And that's pretty much standard on most bases, really. Unless it's a really awful design, then we might even just, cool to put earlier, you can drop less bots. If I can solo a base or do 2 bots on a base, then I will do, fair enough, to get more XP. But on bases like the previous one, it's not possible to solo it. Unless you're going to do an air squad, but you got an air squad. So I didn't. So, no. We're getting 30,000 XP per bot anyway. We've got an outpost on that side, on the left-hand side. So on the right-hand side, so we've got the left-hand side here. So again, we're going to do Star Saber. And once he goes over there, now the bots over here. What I'm going to do is, I hope he goes upwards. Yes, he went upwards. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use Star Saber. We're going to go up there like that. And then we're going to meet him with the rest of our bots around the area. And then we're going to do tracks. And we're going to do norm, but where my bots are. Sorry. And then we've used Rook to protect them. And then we're going to use Swoop. And then we're going to use Silverbolt to take out some key defenses, like we said. Again, it's just a matter of just, playing with the team, seeing what works. And then we can use a bit of rust in the areas to clear it out quicker. You see there, the Sharktacons with the G1 core doing crazy amount of damage. They got the speed up. Which is 9 for everything. 9 for, get it? 9, sorry. Yeah, and he's an Ironhide, supposed to be tough and strong, but he always dies. I think the problem is that he rushes ahead. And pre-ability 11 doesn't have a shield. And he's got amazing health, but nothing to protect him. And that's his problem. He's just got great health. No good DPS. His ability is not good. He does die quickly because the head has no shield. So, yeah, I agree. He's not the best bot. And I know that, I think it was Steve earlier was saying was good. And grind time's leveling because of it. Well, Ironhide, I think, was my first 4-star. It's either him or Huffer. I'm pretty sure it was Ironhide, though, and Huffer was one of the first few. Pretty sure it was Ironhide. So considering all my bots that I've got, my Ironhide is level 54. Now, considering there's bots that came out in the past year that are, higher than that, it just really, red alert. I don't really use is at 58. I don't even use Rhinox apart from Zen Farming, and he's the same level. Came out years later. Six Gun, don't even use him. Level 58. So Warpath, don't even use him at all. Level 55 higher. He's pretty poor. Ironhide, pretty poor. Is Red Alert better as a wall breaker compared to Ironhide? I wouldn't use any of them as a wall breaker. If you want a wall breaker, Drift, Primal, Sludge, Nose Cone at a high level. Don't swear at me. But yeah, it's true. Yeah. So again, we've got a team. We've got one tank mainly and Elita, but we've got a bit. This team's a bit different. I know I said don't put all low health bots in one team, but this is a bit different. This team, I'll show you why. And it's plain and simple because we've got Slash. Plain and simple. I'm seeing any bots there that are close to 40 just to get them upgraded. Any close to 50 even. No, we'll do Goldfire. He's at 38. We need to get him up. I like him. Cool. So what I'll do with this team, because it's got Slash in it, I basically just clear the area and then path Slash to the HQ and win that way. So this is quite an underpowered team because you've got one bot that's absolutely incredible. So if you have got Blades, you have got Slash, bots that can solo us on very easily with the right pathing, then yeah, utilize them. So all we're gonna do is, so we need a gunner. We got anyone with? We got top shot. Oh, of course, yeah, there we go. Oh, I've dropped Slash already. That's not good. Let's put them out post with Goldfire anyway. Let's just get rid of them outposts as quick as we can. I'm going to start using Slash now. I need to save some ability points for Slash. I need to take that launcher out, that beam out, pretty quickly. But we're going to try and path him upwards. Need 20 ability points. We've got 20 ability points. That's how we do it. All right. It's game over now. This is a mine. No, it is not. See there, Megatronus doing extra damage to the defenses as well, which will get you some extra ability points back. Face down. I've become like that drunk uncle no one likes, but you're protective over. No. For me, Ironhide is like the drunk uncle that you disown and don't want anything to do with. Cooltas put trying to buy Hugo Boss and failing. Well, not really, because I still did it. So yeah, but Hugo is incredible with Slash. But yeah, I need to change the way. I always say this. I should listen to my own advice. Change the position you put your bots in. I need to put Slash in the last position. That's what I need to do. I think we got one more team. Yep. So again, this is a very low-powered team, really, compared to the rest. And I don't mean in terms of just power. I mean like in terms of how good it is synergy-wise. But it's got Goldfire, and again, I'll just emphasize how good he is because I love him so much. But we'll put No in there for this one. And I'm literally just going to use Goldfire with Liege, like I explained in my last video. If you've not seen that yet, go and check it out. If you use Liege or Megatronus or Vector, especially on Goldie or Star Saber, Windblade, go and check that video out, guys. Honestly, loads of cool information there. And I think that with all that information, you can make a good decision on who to put what cores on in terms of Liege, Megatronus, and Vector. So yeah, definitely. Okay, so Goldfire. We'll go at the bottom here. I'm going to go with gold here, and then we're just going to do zigzags. So 1, then 2. I'm going to put these bots down to try and get some ability points back though. And then 3. Put Noah down as well. Then do 4. And watch the outpost bots. There they are. Can we get 13 ability points off the top? Oh, he's dead. Take that out there. Take that out there. Thank you, outpost bots. Not going to use sharks guns because they're awful. Just going to let these take this bottom section out. Get some more ability points. And then we're literally just going to go. I love doing this. I don't even need to. I'm going to go. Pew! Pew! Oh, what? There we go. Make it jump. We could fast forward this. It's game over. Easily game over. Let's go lead them battling over there. Just leave them to it. We don't even need to help them out. All we need to do is do. It leads to in the middle there. Send one blade up to HQ. Then do Smoker. Pew! Smoker. Pew! First goes put power guys okay for base with everything in a straight line. But who really has loads of defenses in a straight line? Power Glide is one of the most awful bots in the game. I agree, Mike. I cannot say enough how much of an opinion I voiced on how bad Power Glide was and how bad his ability 11 was. Honestly. Yeah. There's certain bots I will fight for. If they're really poor, I will really fight for them. And he was one of them. But the apes just weren't having it. They weren't having it. That's a UK phrase. I'm not too sure if you know what it means in America, but it means they didn't want to know. Grantan loves my sound effects. You know I like my smoky sound effect. He would be so good and useful if he was consistent. Agreed, Coltai. So inconsistent. He's good for farm resources. Yeah, the resource at the back of the base. Yeah, I get it. I can get his use. But still, his damage is far, far not enough. That's the point, though, Coltai. His damage is pretty good sometimes. So there you go. So his damage is pretty good, but not great. Sometimes, but not all the time. If you aim it right, but then what if you don't? It's so inconsistent. It's crazy. And grind time is smoky as simples. Okay, cool. So I think I've answered most people's questions on combat bots. I don't want to again talk about the best to the worst. Could have gone through them all, but I've done that before. I just want to talk about some of the questions that people ask and some of the things that people don't think about. When they think, oh, sound barrier gives me extra protection. Yeah, but it's in 15 seconds. Oh, but yeah, glitch gives me extra range, but reduce your range of abilities. There's certain things to think about, certain downfalls, and I think personally, like I said, Fire Drive and Trench Foot need a small buff in some way to do more damage against something. Like I said, Trench Foot against shields, and Fire Drive. I don't know. I'm lost with them. I'm lost. And Skywalk stream is starting. Cool. So we'll finish there, and I'll probably join you in Skywalk stream actually. So yeah, thanks to everyone for tuning in. Really appreciate it. It's lasted a bit longer than I thought, but it was supposed to be a nice, cool stream, and we've ended up going a bit on combat, talking about China, doing a bit of leveling, and been one of them streams that's good, a bit of a good information stream. So yeah. All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to join our Discord server. We do regular giveaways in there, regular giveaways on a Wednesday in our streams as well. On Saturdays, not so much really. We've already got so many codes. But yeah, so yeah, join in the stream on Wednesday. Join the stream next Saturday. We'll be doing some leaderboard leveling next Saturday. Next Wednesday, we'll have Grapple and should be able to show him as well. That'd be pretty cool. We might even get to know the next combats, maybe, and maybe even the bots that have got ability 11, maybe next week. We're going to be doing a video on the next 5-star batch as well. And obviously, we're going to be doing a video on the results of the thing in Discord, the question on your best bots. So yeah, cool. Thanks for watching, everyone. Really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe. Don't forget to hit a like on the video, and we'll see you next Wednesday. All right, cool. Thanks for watching, guys, and peace out.